Hello everyone, it's me, Nick. Good news are, um, I disappeared for a while. All two or three of you that may be subscribed to this channel right now. But I'm back, I'm done with whatever and all that crud that was bothering me. And I'm going to try to get this channel back up and running to a once a week upload again at some point. I've got several good bits of good news to tell you, as I always will. I know I'm not doing this professionally. At some point it's going to look a lot better. This is mostly just me getting back on my feet again. So I'm going to get on to the good news. First bit of good news is people helping each other here in Greensboro. A week ago, we had some really bad storms and even a tornado. I believe it was an EF2 tornado that ripped through eastern Greensboro. And probably to show how, whatever it is, if nothing else, probably just how much weather can differ in just a few miles. I'm in the westernmost part of Greensboro, and it just rained heavily. That was it. Meanwhile, in eastern Greensboro, I actually managed to drive through a little bit of it. There are trees destroyed. When I saw that there was one street that was closed, probably because they're trying to clean stuff up. There was houses with tarps on them because part of the roof was missing. And you could just read stories and accounts of people saying one minute they were just eating dinner, the next minute really loud sound, and all of a sudden roof's gone, walls are missing, you know, just all of this sudden devastation. And unfortunately, somebody did die, and some other people were injured, and there's also damage up in Rockingham County and Danville, Virginia. But through all of that, again, for one, it wasn't as bad. I mean, there was a story of a family that was eating dinner, and they hid under a glass table, and the glass table was fine. A few feet over wasn't fine, but somehow they were fine. But the amount of donations and aid and help that have come through is amazing. You can just read about just how people are giving water and food and their time and blankets and clothing and all of that. Just trying to help people rebuild their homes, trying to help schools to, be up and running again, because it actually shut down schools, because some schools were just destroyed or so heavily damaged, like we got to close like 16 schools. So there's people trying to help get those schools rebuilt, trying to find some place for those kids to go in the interim. And there was actually a point where people were giving so much bottled water that, eventually messaged out like, hey, we're good on bottled water, we need something else. And just messages constantly were going out from the city of Greensboro, from so many others, about, alright, look, if you want to help, that's fine, just try to do it through official channels, that way we can corral you to the right place instead of you just appearing and maybe causing a problem. And be careful if you just show up somewhere with your chainsaws or whatever. Actually, don't do that. Go do through us, because power lines might still be active and bad stuff can happen. Just so many stories. Um, Reverend Cardis Brown really wanted to open his church to help people. Like, I have this massive kitchen, I can help feed so many people that need help. Eastern Greensboro, so that part of town, are people that are well below the poverty line, people that have probably been in poverty for generations, unfortunately. People that really just could not afford to have something like this happen. So again, Reverend Brown's like, I want to help people. I want to open the doors to my church and use this kitchen to feed everybody. But his church didn't have power. So he contacted Guilford County Commissioner Melvin Skip Alston, who Brown had disagreements with. And actually, Reverend Brown, his church wasn't even in his district. I think it is district. And again, just these two have publicly disagreed with each other a lot. And Brown just asked, hey, could the county provide us a generator to help power this kitchen. And Allison said, we don't, but we're going to go find one. Let's go find one. And, she said to people just like, look, we disagree. That's fine, but people need help. It doesn't matter, if we disagree on stuff or not. People are just, no matter what, they're doing everything they can to help each other. And there's a hashtag Greensboro Strong came out of it. And again, I followed the city of Greensboro again several times. As I said, messages saying, hey, don't just go show up. Come, either call this number or go to this site or whatever. We want to try to control where this goes. And it's a wonderful thing to see. And it makes me thankful that the worst I got was a bunch of rain. It really does, just... Again, I went through there. The devastation is horrible, but just judging by this first week, people are helping a lot. And there's still a long way to go. There's so many people that still need housing, and there's schools that need to be rebuilt, and power probably needs to be restored in some places, and just... It's only been a week, and there's still a long way to go. But I'm happy to see that this is where it started. And I'm certain you could probably go search for ways to help the victims, because I know that people still need help. Whether it's a little bit of your time or money or whatever, by all means, go do it. So, that's where the good news begins. Next up is a story that I saw throughout the weekend. It's what really made me want to start doing these videos again. Scientists found an enzyme that could really effectively break down plastic. And they also accidentally made it better by trying to understand it. So the study of this enzyme they discovered started in 2016 when they found a bacteria in a Japanese waste dump that evolved to use PET, polyethylene therapeutic, commonly used in plastic bottles. And of course there's this massive problem with plastic all over the world. It doesn't break down quickly, and there's garbage patches full of plastic. And it isn't the first time they found something that can break down plastic. They found waxworm caterpillars have been found to be breaking down these plastics, and mealworms are getting microbes in their guts to break down these things as well. But again, they found this bacteria with this enzyme in it to break it down. And they were just studying it, and I think they shot it with some type of x-ray, and they made it 20% better. So they're like, that's cool. And to give an idea of how powerful this is, the resulting mutant enzyme that they made could now break down PET, the thing used in all these bottles, in a matter of days versus 450 years that it could take this plastic to break down naturally. And it's a great thing because we're breaking down faster, which is fantastic. But also there's this application of not just, we can get it out of the environment. It's like, well, hey, if we break it down to its base components again, which is what they can do now, it could make recycling plastic bottles even better, because right now I think they just shred it and just okay, we'll make carpets or whatever out of it, which that's okay, but that doesn't fix the fact that you would like to reuse plastic bottles. But now with this enzyme and other things we're looking at, it's we can break it down to its base components and then make new bottles. We don't have to keep making new plastic. And it's spectacular. And again, we can go out into the world and break it down. And they can mass produce this enzyme, because I think in this article I read, they will put enzymes in, they'll industrial scale make enzymes in laundry detergent and stuff, so they do the same thing. And this isn't going to be a catch-all solution to anything. It's not going to fix our problems tomorrow, because it's still going to take probably some years to understand what it's doing, make sure there's no adverse effects, etc. But it's a massive start. That's a big quote I took out of this article. Enzyme which is current recycling strategies for bottles, mostly focused on mechanical recycling. Yeah, this article, prior to this, it said what I just summed up, which is they could break down these bottles even more so they could truly recycle it. And that is a wondrous thing. Sticking to plastic, surfer and inventor Kelvin Kamala saw just the impact of plastic on Bali, which is a island in Indonesia. He's like, oh my god, there's plastic everywhere. So he decided that he's going to try to make plastic bags that can degrade naturally. So he went and he started looking at how can he make something that might be more biodegradable. Products which are made from 100% renewable natural resources such as cornstarch, sunflower, and sugarcane. Again, we grow these things. They're not plastic. They can break down naturally because they're bioplastic. Most popular of Kamala's products is a compostable bioplastic bag made from starch of cassava, a root vegetable that is commonly grown across the region. Bags look and perform like plastic bags, begin to degrade after about 6 months, which is better than the 450 years I mentioned a few minutes ago that plastic normally breaks down in. Use eco-friendly, non-toxic inks, and he says it can even be eaten safely by marine animals where the bags find their ways into the ocean. So, again, that's even better, because the big thing with plastic now is animals eat it, it's not good for them. So, again, humans are smart creatures. We can use our intelligence and our power for bad, but we also can use it for spectacular things as well, including solving these major problems that can potentially kill us all or kill the earth. You still recycle, but just know that we're working towards a better tomorrow. And it's wonderful. Final thing is, this is a good bit of news from... In the news have been a lot of teacher walkouts and protests and all of that, because they want better pay and so many other things. Well, this story's from end of last month. There's a site that's called DonorsChoose.org. It's a platform that's meant to help teachers say, hey, I need X, Y, and Z, and people can donate to it. Well, a cryptocurrency company called Ripple said, we're going to donate $29 million to help. And that donation helped to cover every single project on the site. All 35,647 requests from over 28,000 teachers and from 16,000 different public schools. Donors Choose tweeted out, we can't believe what that just happened. With the largest single donation in our history, Ripple just funded every single classroom project on our site. And teachers responded just being so very thankful and saying they couldn't wait to just do great things. And there's a teacher, Maria Hernandez, a teacher at Helms Elementary in Houston. Again, she was brought to tears by it. And it's a great thing. Teaching children is such an important thing. Education is so important. And Ripple seems to really understand that. According to Ripple's website, the donation will affect approximately 1 million public school students. That's amazing. This is from their SVP of marketing. In a statement saying, quote, at Ripple, we care about giving back to our community, and we collectively value the importance of quality education in developing the next generation of leaders. DonorsChoose.org's track record speaks for itself. They are highly effective at improving the quality of education and the experience of teachers and students across America. We're proud to work with them to support classrooms needs across the country. And to tie some of this together, if people are educated, they'll be aware that bad things happen that you need to help, and they can also be inspired by this to go, hey, these people helped my classroom, so let me help somebody else. And if people are smart, they can come up with solutions to problems like plastic ruining our world. As I always say, there's good news everywhere. And this was choppy, and I'm still unhappy with the quality of how this video is probably going to turn out. But hey, I got me a new laptop. I can actually do this weekly now versus it being me spending 15 minutes waiting for my laptop to set up. So that's good news. Other good news, I'm going to start trying to do this consistently. Make sure I get a video up Friday night or on Saturday. We'll say most weeks, because there'll be some weeks I'll be busy or whatever. But starting in May, I'm going to start these videos up again. And at some point, I'll see if I can have some better background than just apartment. I'm not sure when that'll be. But this is a start. And if I can just get a few people to hear about good news, that's great. If you want to keep up with this adventure and help and whatever, subscribe and like and share and all that YouTube stuff. I'll eventually also have a Twitter handle just for this channel. I know what I want it to be, but let me not say in case it doesn't turn out to be that. All the stories that I talked about are going to be in the description, or links to those stories are going to be in the description. Until next time, remember there's good things that happen out there. Kind of just gotta go look for it. See you next time.